Thank you, Director Card.
Wala na si Secretary. Umalis na ba? Of course, I would want to recognize, of course, my fellow Assistant Secretaries present. Of course, ASEC Esther Aldana. Well, happy Easter. And of course, and yung mga bagong dumating, of course, si Lori David from Caraga region, of course. And the rest who are also newcomers. Anyway, thank you for being here. And I'm happy that you're all here because finally, we're all partners on this. At hindi na ako mahihirapan magpaliwanag. Tuwi na lang sa Mancom. Kahit magpaliwanag ako sa Mancom, hindi pa rin nakukuha. At least, kasama na natin pati sila. No? Who will help me explain further where I'm coming from and where we're going. What's the history first? Let me enumerate first. What's the history of the anti-illegal drugs? It had 3 executive orders. In 2016, it was the .RC. Okay? In 2017, it was the ICAD. And now, in 2018, it's the Philippine Anti-Drug Strategy. Okay? So every year, no, nagkaroon ng yearly executive order ng Presidente just for the illegal drugs. Only to give emphasis that really this is the government's priority at present. What is PADS next? It is just a blueprint describing the strategies and program to be undertaken by the government in addressing the country's drug abuse problem. It's a whole, o sabi nila, whole nation approach. Hindi na DILG lang, hindi PIDEA lang, hindi PN, it's really a whole government approach. And in doing so, we really have to align with the President's priority thrust anchored in the Philippine Development Plan na binabanggit parati ni Director Frank. Which is, the PADS is anchored on PDP 2017 to 2022. Please take note that in this administration, it has put emphasis on peace and order in connection with economic development. So, ang sinasabi ng Philippine Development Plan, kung hindi mo ma-establish ang peace and order, hindi gagana ang ekonomiya. Hindi magkakaroon ng economic gain. That's PDP 2017 to 2020. Next. What's the PAD's goal? To develop a comprehensive and balanced anti-drug strategy based on drug supply and drug demand reduction. DILG, as mentioned earlier by Secretary Cuy, would focus more on the demand reduction. Incorporate available principles and tools provided by prevention science, latest evidence-based treatment modalities. Next slide. So ano ba yung role ng DILG at ng LGU? Kaya nga ho tayo may focal persons dito. Hindi ko na babanggitin isa-isang pangalan ninyo from the different cities of NCR. At bakit po NCR lang nga nandito? Dahil nandito ang Metro Manila at kayo ang pinakamataas na drug affectation. Okay? O, diba? So, DILG and LGU's role under EO 66 series of 2018. Next slide. Unahin muna natin LGU functions. Kasi yun ang tinanong kanina ni Attorney Noide. Next slide. Wait. So, under LGU functions based on EO 66, Section 4 states, all government entities and LGU shall formulate and adopt their respective drug-free workplace program. Ito yung binabanggit kanina ni Secretary Cuy, yung policy na ginawa ng DDB through the contribution of Attorney Odi during our meeting before. And meron na ho tayong in-issue. DILG has taken an act by issuing Memorandum Circular 2018-213, Establishment and Institutionalization of Drug-Free Workplace Policies in all government offices, including the conduct of authorized drug testing for elective local officials and appointed public officials for other services. Next slide. What's the other function ng LGU? Section 5 states that local government units are encouraged to support and implement the PATS through the following initiative. Letter A, to formulate and submit their own implementing and operational plans to the DDB. Letter B, to establish and strengthen their anti-drug abuse councils. Letter C, to work in partnership with PDEA and PNP in implementing the Philippine Anti-Drug Strategy and barangay drug clearing operations. Letter D, to coordinate with the DOH relative to the assessment and management of those found using or abusing dangerous drugs. Letter E, to appropriate a portion of the respective annual appropriations for anti-illegal drug programs, projects, and activities. Next slide. Another LGU function, appropriate a substantial portion, number 1, appropriate a substantial portion of the respective annual budget. Ito na po yung tinatanong kanina ni Director, substantial amount rate. Paano kung minimum siguro? It's a minimum substantial amount, perhaps. Next slide, please. Revitalize and strengthen the local anti-drug abuse council. The Anti-Drug Abuse Office proposal, ito po yung proposal, by the way, Province of Cebu, Caloocan City, my city, and Quezon City, I think created an ordinance. Creating an office for the anti-illegal drug office. Kasi at present po, lahat ng focal persons dyan, hindi naman permanente. Hindi permanente. O election na naman. Pagkatapos ng election, palitang mayor. O di yung mga kausap natin, wala na naman. So imagine yung 3 years na pinaghirapan, wala. So there's a need for them to create an office. That's why we already gave a memorandum circular for the secretary to sign. Pag napirmahan na yun, I think Secretary Puy, on their part, will create a DDB regulation for this. Purpose of which, para ma-institutionalize natin lahat itong ginagawa natin. Kasi what's the point of having all these meetings at pag napalitan na naman ulit, walang sariling office at sariling opisina to track all of these policies, wala na. Ayos pa sa inyo. Diba? As per request ng city pa. Ikaw yung makulit pare, yung Paranaque. No? Ayan ha, inadapta namin as your request. Next slide, please. LGU functions, maintain effective operation of SDEC. Alam niyo, first time po nanin yung SDEC, by the way. Because this was during the time of Secretary Joey na pa ho. Tapos sunod-sunod marami ng MC pero hindi na-implement. At municipalities encourage, pero provinces mandated. That is under the law. And why is it out of 81, 19? Siguro nakaligtaan na. We have to revisit this again. Number 4, next slide. Render assistance and support in conduct of barangay drug clearing operations. Ito po yung sinasabi ni Director Carl. At ito yung tinatanong rin po namin sa PDEA. Ano ba talagang role ng barangays at ng mayors in terms of drug clearing? Ano ba talaga ang dapat gawin ng barangay? Kami ba ako dati ang kapitan, ako ba manghuhuli mismo? Remember, ang barangay captain hindi ang katulad ng pulis, dumaan sa mahabang proseso ng pag-aaral and training, and not all of them are allowed to wear bear guns. So in short, if you will allow the barangay captain to do the drug law enforcement act, baka hindi mo niya kayanin. Kaya nga siguro alamin, ano ba talaga ang pwede lang paggawa sa barangay. At during our workshop, no, nabanggit ng PDEA, siguro ang hinihingi lang muna pansamantala para linawin yung convincing factor ng isang kapitan na mag-surrender kung sino man nabibilang na pusher at user. Pero as to yung panghuhuli at pagsama, baka hindi nila kayanin. Pero yun dahil dapat maging malinaw. That's why we're seeking for a workshop on that with NBOO kasama linawin. Kasi nagawa tayo ng parameters eh. How do you determine now whether a barangay is really functioning in terms of the barangay drug clearing? Na tinitingnan rin yan, minomonitor rin yan ng mga regional peace and order chairman. At yan ang basis rin for drug clearing. So, ang hirap po chairman i-determine. So I think we need guidance on that. Paano namin masasabi na yung isang barangay, upon monitoring ng DILG, talagang nag-function o functional yung act. Bakit? Kasi 15 points po yun eh. Malaking puntos ang binigay ng indicators doon sa drug clearing. Tatlo lang ang malaking indicators eh. Barangay drug clearing, community-based, at yung pag-provide ng allotment ng funds. Pero yung barangay drug clearing program, pag-usapan pa ho natin na mas matindi. Baka, I think, umamin rin ng PIDEA, that was a policy nung panahon pa ni President Ramos yata, na kailangang i-revisit kung ano ba talagang pwede lang ipagawa sa barangay. Para naman, hindi naman ho kami mapasok. Audit ho kami ng audit. Eh, hindi naman malinaw. Number 5, initiate, implement community-based treatment programs. By the way, hindi na ho DOH yan. Di mo ba? Health is already devolved to the local government. So, a part of which, they have to help, no? To create a community-based drug rehab. Hindi ho drug rehab. Iba yung drug rehab per se, sa community-based drug rehab, balay sila at balay silangan. Pag sinabing community-based drug rehab, pang-user yon. Pag balay silangan, pang-pusher. Ang tanong, how do we ask the local governments to comply? Dahil upon report, during our ICAD meeting, sir, ang daming non-compliant na local government. Yung tanong ko, alam ba nila? Pangalawa, kaya ba nila? Pangatlo, is there a need? So these are things that came up. And as a proposal, sabi nga namin, can we not also come up with a cluster? Pag-clustering na lang tayo para mas makatipid at mas practical. Kung wala naman talagang pondo ang lahat ng local government, eh kung makikinabang rin naman sila dun sa gagawing balay silangan, hindi, why not? In the same manner, sa mga barangays rin, ganoon din po. Next slide. Okay, so we're done with the local government. I hope you took note of it, no? Yung functions ng local government. Let's go now to our DILG functions. So as you can see, halos parehas lang rin po. Kung yung sinabi ko kanina sa local government, yun ang imo-monitorin lang po natin. No? First part. Next slide. Again, nabanggit ko kanina yung SDEC. Okay? Advocate in coordination with DDB, NYC, and the SWD. The SDEC in each province in accordance with RA 9165 and encourage highly urbanized and independent components in this to establish their own SDEC. Shall be supervised by the local government units. Ito po yung tinatanong ni Secretary Anyo sa akin po, Chairman. Hindi ba pwedeng pag-isahin na lang itong SDEC, itong balay silangan, itong community-based? Kasi ano ba to? Hiwa-hiwalay ba to? O pag-iisahin ba ito? Kasi it's the same function eh. Same function sa youth offenders, user, pusher. I don't know. Yeah, well, it's more of a strategy. And what is the suggested action? Ang issue kasi, walang issue. Walang existing DILG MC for specific guidelines on the establishment of STEC. So it's just maybe, pero walang existing specific guidelines. How to implement it. So we're creating through, of course, the Office of DLGS, Attorney Odi here, to create an MC for that. What say you? Next slide. Oh, next slide. Next is to revitalize and strengthen their ADAC. Ito na po, no? Enhancement of ADAC performance indicators. We already had our meeting last meeting? Last month ago. We conducted a workshop in enhancing the performance indicators. Nakinig ho kami sa mga focal persons ninyo from the region, and it was very fruitful. It was violently and aggressively fruitful. And we listened well. And I love it. I love it because everybody was really on board and really would want to make that change, no? And help the functionality indicators as well. Next slide, please. Ito po yung to conduct drug awareness prevention. Well, it's an easy task, no? Ginagawa na rin naman talaga ng LGUs yan. Pero this time, kailangan kasama yung diocese, kasama yung mga partners natin. Because there are already existing efforts by different partners, pero hindi nakikipag-partner ang mga local government sa mga existing private entities. Let's encourage them to join. Let's encourage for a fusion or a united effort. Next slide. Another DILG function on PADS is, again, itong allocation of substantial portion of respective annual budget. Ito po yung pagmomonitor whether the local government has allotted a substantial amount. Again, tama ho. I'm reiterating with what ASEC Nini has said, no existing minimum standard to determine the substantial portion. Ibig sabihin, ano ba yung minimum? Hindi mo sinasabi yung max just the minimum. Para something to work on. I think that's already been raised. Next slide. Ito yung .RC. I think this is under USec RJ, under operations. And I think it's an ongoing project na rin naman. Kaya lang, ang sinasabi ni Secretary Anyo, di ba pwedeng gamitin na muna yung mga existing na .RC for the implementation of the community-based? Kasi kung hindi pa naman nakakabuo ang mga local government, kung nakabuo na itong mga to, pansamantala, di ba munang gumawa ng guidelines or utos na gamitin na muna yan para habang ginagawa pa o habang gumagawa pa yung community-based o ginagawa pa ng ibang local government yung community-based, let's use the existing .RC para lang makapag-comply tayo sa kautusan ng Korte Suprema. So, in short, what the Secretary Anyo saying, maximize the .RC facilities instead of also simultaneously focusing on the local government's effort of creating their community-based tribunal. Next slide. Ito na po. Ito na po. Let me say this and let me say it again. This is the most important activity of the DILG para sa akin. You may refute it, you may disagree with it, but for me, this is the most important. And I think DOH alone cannot do it. Inumpisahan na yan supposed to be sa masamasid natin. Di ba? May masamasid program tayo noon, may kalagay ng community-based na natanggal rin sa atin eventually, na naibalik ulit. No? Pero again, this is very important. Because I believe if we have a community-based drug rehab for all local governments which is really functional, from the city down to the barangay level, we could address the problems of drug clearing programs. Because that's the only basis for drug clearing. Second, we could really put the supply reduction and we could also help the demand reduction at the same time. We could help the PNP and PDEA for them on its operation. Most especially on the numbers. Kasi kung hindi ho tayo nagka-community based, wala tayong numero pinag-uusapan na nare-rehab natin. Again, it's very important kasi hinihingi yan sa real numbers. By the way, at this point in time, 3 taon na tayo, wala pa tayong nasasabi sa buong mundo kung ilan na talaga na-rehab natin. Huli lang tayo ng huli, pero walang nare-rehab. DOH has already given its own share of numbers from the existing established rehab. Pero ang mas malaking portion na kailangang i-rehab, hindi yung mga severe, but yung mga mild, yung 1.8 million voluntary surrenderer. Wala silang pupuntahan, remember? Noong nag-issue ang presidente ng ganito, marami nag-surrender, saan pumunta? Wala rin naman, di ba? Bumalik lang ulit eh. Kasi hindi pa existing yung community-based. And it's not DILG, I agree. It's really DOH. But can we just leave it to DOH? Wala ba talagang contribution ng kahit kaunti ang DILG para dito? Are we just going to leave it at that? Bahala ka, trabaho mo yung DOH, trabaho mo yan, tamad mo eh. Ganun ba yun? This is us. We have our own share to help in the implementation of the law. At kung magagawa ito, pati yung mga plea bargainers, makaka-avail rin. So, and at the same time, we could tell the world that ito, marami kami nahuhuli, pero marami rin kami narirehab. And I think this is the right message that we need to tell, and hopefully this year, makita. Huwag na tayo mag-focus sa functionality ng local government. Let's focus now on how many have we rehabilitated. Paramihan tayo ng mapaparehab. And I think that's the most important thing. Above all the functionality policies, amongst all the policies of, ang mahalaga lang naman gusto makita ng taong bayan, ilan naman ang parehab natin? And are we helping them on that? Now, if DILG is not sold out of helping the community-based drug rehab, because it's not the role of DILG, but only solely of DOH, then we are doomed. Plea bargaining. Bakit po kasi pumasok pa itong plea bargaining agreement? Kasi under dangerous drugs law, wala ko kasi talaga plea bargaining yan. Wala. So 6 years, ilang taon na ba dangerous drugs law? 2002. Bakit ngayon lang ang Korte Suprema nag-decide na meron? Kung kailan panahon pa ni Presidente Duterte. Do you understand? Na kapag nahuli ka, walang plea bargaining. But it's only now, 2017, if I'm not mistaken, that the Supreme Court has decided on this. It's final. No? It's final. Supreme Court allows plea bargaining in drugs cases. This added to the problem. Hindi yun namin na-anticipate to plea bargaining kasi we're focused on the 1.8 million voluntary surrenderer. And how many are this? 28,000. Yun po yung nag-usap po kami, that's last year. Ewan ko lang ngayon, baka lumaki na. So imagine mo, 1.8 voluntary surrenderer ka, na kailangan mo i-rehab, at may mga nag-a-avail pa ng 28,000. Kung ipinagyayabang natin yung .RC natin, 10,000 lang mo capacity nun. At ilan pa ang existing na drug rehab natin ng capacity ay hanggang 5,000 lang. Scattered all over the country. Now, if the community base will not work, walang mangyayari po sa atin. They will die there. They will die there miserably. Next slide. At may OCAD circular na po. I hope you understand. Hindi nagre-request ang korte. Nag-uutos lang po yan. The court is just ordering us. The court is ordering, no, all RTC, no, to refer to the Mega Drug Rehabilitation Center. Pero problema ho, upon talking to DOH, next slide, when we had our meeting, hindi na ho kaya ng DOH Mega Drug Rehab. Hindi na kaya. 28,000 10,000 lang ang capacity. Paano? That's why Secretary Cuy, together with other members of the DDB and the DILG, had a meeting with Justice Maidas Marquez. So how do you address this? So hindi pa rin tayo gagalaw? Bahala ka, DOH. That's your job. Di ba? So ano hinihingi? Plea bargainers with low risk or mild dependency will be enrolled in the CBDRP for local governments. Ngayon, kung hindi natin trabaho to, di mabulok na lang sila doon. Forget it. And forget this drug war because it will not work. If community-based drug rehab will not work also. Kasi puro lang tayo huli ng huli eh. Pero wala namang rehab. Kulang ang rehab. And hindi mahirap ang rehab because there are already existing community-based rehab present done by the dioceses, done by the churches, by the different churches, done by private sectors. It's just trying to partner with them. By the way, gusto ko lang sabihin to, I'm not convinced that Caloocan City, my city, is really high in its functionality. The only reason why it's high in functionality because Bishop David, who is so critical of the president, from the Diocese of Caloocan, had a very active community-based drug rehab, which Caloocan City partnered. And the only reason why Manila had a very poor functionality, it is because Diocese of Manila, through Cardinal Tagle, who is also very critical to the president, who has a very active CBDRP, did not partner, Manila did not partner with Diocese. At sa ibang region, meron na nga eh. Hindi lang nagpa-partner. Pero kung just imagine nagpa-partner sa lahat ng diocese, not CSO partners natin, just imagine the potential that we could create of the community-based drug rehab. Malaking bagay po. Next slide. As I've said, number 7, establish partnership with GOCs. Isang function yan. Yan po yung UBAS na sinasabi. Yung ugnayan ng barangay at simbahan ni Secretary Robredo, Jesse Robredo. So it's an action which we could now work on, centering on community-based drug rehab. If we have misgivings with the church, at si Presidente, hindi sila nakikita eye to eye, this is the only activity we could work on together with the church. The community-based drug rehab, which they are now doing, together with the local government. And if DILG could link the local government and the diocese, just imagine what good we can do for the country. Next slide. So the implementation plan. Next slide. Ay, hindi mabasa. I'll just give you a copy. Next slide. Ito na ho. Dito na papasok si ASEC Esther Aldana sa pagkakaperahan at kung paano tayo tutulungan sa implementation plan. Hiningi ni Secretary Puy na sana mailagay mandatory drug testing, no? Well, I don't know kung ito may bababa, no, sa atin. So for 2019 to 2020, 250,000. For community-based rehabilitation program, on policy formulation, yan po yung mga proposed budget lang. Kasi, as I've said, we had a workshop, by the way, with DOH, DSWD. No, nagkaroon kami ng workshop. And it was a fruitful workshop kasi what we wanted is a joint memorandum circular between DILG, DOH, and DDB and DSWD. Para isang policy na lang na susundin ng lahat ng local government and all agencies concerned. No? So hopefully, doon sa nagawa naming workshop, we could now teach and download everything to the community-based drug rehab program. On policy formulation, monitoring of CBDRP establishment, again, we are now highlighting whether or not your community-based drug rehab is functional. Yes, sir? Random po ba yan? Yes, we will change. Random na lang pala. We'll change that. Next slide. Okay, establishment of operationalization of SDEC through the effort of BLGS, no? Strengthening of ADACs again. Kasi, as we have said, we also try to give awards to those who are functional, that matter. So since tapos na tayo sa baselining, this year, we're free. We're free to we're free to file cases now for the low functionality. By the way, we did not file cases. Let me correct myself, no? We did not file cases. We referred the case to the Ombudsman for them to study whether or not there's a probable cause for them to file cases against local government who have not complied with the DDB regulation of an organized ADAC, not complying with the substantial amount and the plans. I did not use as my basis the functionality because there's no penal clause there. Di ba? During our discussion in Cebu. When I referred the case, saka wala akong final sa mga low functional. The only list that we have referred to the Ombudsman are those who belong to the narco list and those who have not complied. For the low functionality, which are 600 of them, we will not file nor refer cases to them. Okay, why? Kasi baseline. Diba? So just let me clear that, ha? The case which we referred to the Ombudsman together with the narco list, no? Ang basis natin is not the functionality, but the DDB regulation which has a penal clause. Failure to follow DDB regulation has penal clause in it. So it's only the non-compliant and those who belong to the narco and those local government who are in the narco list. Baka naman pati yun, questionin nyo pa. Kung gusto nyo questionin, diretso nyo na kay Presidente yung question, bakit dati isasama yun? Let's not question that. That's for the Ombudsman to determine whether there's probable cause. No? At kung kailangan mag-file sa Sandigan Bayan. We just did our job. It's just implementing the law. O kung ayaw nyo, di ang DDB magpa-file. Pwede naman, magre-refer. O ang PIDEA magre-refer. It's just like that. Next slide. Barangay Drug Clearing Program. Makalagay na rin Carl. No? And next slide. Nilagay na rin po namin ICAD activities. So, bibigyan uli namin kayo ng pondo sa region so that you could create your ICAD activities in coordination with other attached agencies. Kasi kung hindi nyo gagawin yun, talagang mahirap i-implement yung sinasabi nyo kanina na hindi alam ng CHED, hindi alam ng ibang agencies yung kanilang contribution. Next slide. So yan po, 182. Kasama na rin po dyan yung .RC program. I'm still waiting for the program ng NBOO for the submission to ASEC Aldana. But I agree with ASEC Aldana when he mentioned that it's all pads. Pero ito lang ang pakiusap ko. I might not stay in the DILG after the President's term. I might run for office. Pero ang pakiusap ko lang, sana, pakiusap ko kay Attorney Odi at kay NBOO, sana itong pads natin maging institution na sa regular programming ng DILG. And it should be Tier 1. No? Kasi kung hindi magiging Tier 1 to, saan naman mga pinaghirapan natin sa ginagawa natin kay Presidente at yung gusto mangyari ni Presidente. So sana, maging institutionalized. Sayang naman yung efforts ni Secretary Boy and of course ni Secretary Anyo on this. And just to echo what Secretary Anyo has mentioned to me, Secretary, I hope you could help us on this. Gusto ho niya, he has reservation in implementing the community-based. Kasi wala namang penal clause na nagsasabi na kapag hindi nag-implement ang local government, pwede silang kasuhan. Ang hirap po on the part of the regions ng DILG, i-audit yun kung wala namang malinaw na batas na pwedeng, how would I say it, ma-penalize sila if they will not comply in the creation of a community-based drug rehab or of balay silangan. Because if it will be just left to a memorandum circular or just a regulation, ang gagawin lang ho naman namin, encourage lang sila. Pag hindi sila sumunod, i-refer natin sa Ombudsman. Pero iba pa rin kung talagang nasa Republic Act. So as a way of suggestion, being a legislative liaison of the department, I'm also recommending for that amendment. And I think I managed to talk to USec Earl about this, sir. That DDB could also recommend for that amendment na in creating a community-based drug rehab, balay silangan, etc., and ADAW, para may specific na program ng ADAW, no? Failure of which, dapat may penal clause. Kasi, sabi ni Secretary Anyo, mahirap magpatupad kung wala namang whip. Walang whip. So, I'm just basing on what he said to me. No? Mahirap i-implement kung walang penal clause. So for the meantime, sabi niya, let's see kung ma-implement yan. Kung mapapwersa natin yung local government, but best effort na lang. Best effort na lang. But this is, I think, an action that we need to take as one. So with that, sakto lunchtime. So we'll all have our lunch. So thank you. Mabuhay po ang DILG, mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas. Lunch na tayo, ha? Hindi na ako gagaya sa'yo. Oh, I think you're so hungry, we could eat. Are you open for it?